Today on Ultima Gaming, we strike like never before in Persona 5 Strikers. Then we revisit an old friend with a new twist in Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. And finally, Super Nintendo World, here we come. It's game time.
And here's your host, a man refusing to play by the rules, Hunter again.
For the record, we don't play by the rules because we don't read them. I ain't got time for that. Do you? No, I didn't think so. Welcome to Ultima Gaming, where our production schedule is as inconsistent as ever. Which is technically consistent, but I don't think of it that way. Do you? Not really. No. Everyone wishes we uploaded more. Me too. But on today's episode, we've got a special treat, because we're not just talking about video games, we're also talking about a theme park. Specifically, it's Super Nintendo World, so it's still kind of video games, just stay with me. But it had a press event last month, and it happened, and no one really talked about it. There's a bit of a reason for that. It's a little underwhelming, but we'll see what happens there. But speaking of Nintendo, we're also going to be taking a look at Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. They're taking a little bit of old with the Wii U port, throwing that in, and they're taking a brand new experimental concept for what 3D Mario could look like in the future. I'm very excited to see where that goes. But first, what's better than being high schoolers in Japan with supernatural abilities? Being high schoolers in Japan with supernatural abilities and mowing down hundreds of enemies. That's right, we're talking about Persona 5 Strikers. Japan has gotten to enjoy this game for the past year as Persona 5 Scramble, and it finally has made its way over to the West on PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. The question is, was it worth the extra year wait? Let's find out. Here's our review.
If the idea of slogging through a long JRPG doesn't entice you, but the world of Persona 5 excites you, then you may want to check out Persona 5 Strikers. Yes, this is a sequel to the highly acclaimed PS4 hit, but the gameplay couldn't be more different. While the original Persona 5 was a turn-based JRPG style game, Persona 5 Strikers is a Musou or Dynasty Warriors type game. It's a hack and slash, plain and simple, but don't let the different gameplay style fool you. At its core, this game manages to capture the spirit and, dare I say, heart of Persona 5 with ease. Unlike the original Persona 5, Strikers condenses the full plot into a summer vacation where the group travels across Japan. I still can't believe Japan turned some of the Persona 5 scenes into real-life areas. Your main cast of characters are all here, and they're as lovable as ever. Of course, with this game being a sequel, it's difficult to fully recommend it if you haven't played the original, as there are many references and callbacks to the original game, which will completely go over newcomers' heads. The same could be said for certain gameplay mechanics. While this is a hack-and-slash game, it carries over the same structure the Persona series is known for, where certain enemies will be weak or strong against certain attacks, and the game doesn't do the best explanation of it if you aren't already familiar. Even so, it's easy enough to get by with simply mashing a button or two to deliver some devastating combos, something that any Musou fan will be quick to get accustomed to. One thing that differentiates Persona 5 Strikers from your standard Warriors game is you won't be managing a large battlefield all at once, but rather have smaller fields of battle as you encounter enemies. It gives it that Phantom Thief feeling, as you'll sneak around the area and ambush enemies you come across. The soundtrack is just as amazing and memorable as before, with new songs that will get stuck in your head, while returning classics have been remixed to give it a fresh new feeling. One plus to this game is just how laid back it can be compared to its predecessor. While Persona 5 is a long, drawn-out JRPG that can be seen as daunting and taxing by some, Strikers takes a more casual approach, allowing players to come and go as they choose in dungeons, unlike the original Persona 5 that had a strong focus on time management and doing as much as possible in a single run. Combine this with the easier style of gameplay, and Persona 5 Strikers feels like a much more welcoming and still equally exciting experience. Building on an already strong cast of characters and a fun setting, Persona 5 Strikers takes some of the best elements of the hit JRPG and sprinkles in that Muso goodness, creating a unique game that nobody asked for, but everyone wanted. If you enjoyed the original Persona 5, you won't want to miss out on this. If you're looking to get into the series for the first time, consider starting here, but just know that the gameplay is vastly different, and the story may be a little hard to keep up with at times. But if you love to mow down a ton of enemies at once, and feel like a super strong badass, then you'll have a fun time regardless. Persona 5 Strikers gets 4 hee-hoes.
Hee-ho? Hee-ho!
Hee-ho!
They're infected! Alright, good bit. Now it's time to go.
Out of 5.
Personally, I really hope that we get more warrior-style Muso games in the future. I've always enjoyed them. Oddly enough, never really played the actual Dynasty Warriors games, which inspired them all. But hey, if you give me games where I can just push one button and kill everything in my path, I'm good. I'm good. And Persona 5 Strikers is good. Coming up next, we're going to be taking a look at Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. It's a bit of a 2-for-1 special with this. If you played the Wii U version of Super Mario 3D World, you're not missing a whole lot, at least in that department. But if you're willing to spend the money, you're going to get a very cool miniature 3D adventure unlike any other Mario game you've played before. Here's our review for Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Because you don't already have enough Wii U ports to enjoy on your Switch, Nintendo decided to throw yet another one into the pile with Super Mario 3D World. And we're not complaining too much, since Super Mario 3D World is another case of a great game that many players simply didn't get to experience. As far as the multiplayer experience is concerned, Super Mario 3D World offers some of the most chaotic, high-energy fun you can have with a group of friends, for better or for worse. This time around, Bowser has kidnapped a fairy in a bottle, because apparently he's been playing too much Zelda, and Mario and company chase him down a warp pipe into a new land. Levels are broken up through a simple overworld map where you'll walk around and select your next area. With 4 players at the same time, you'll control Mario, Luigi, Peach, or Toad, all running around the map simultaneously. Unlike most 3D Mario titles, Super Mario World uses a sort of top-down, pulled-back camera perspective most of the time, giving players a limited view of their surrounding environment. This plays a major role in creating some of the chaotic feeling the game can give for multiplayer. With a limited view and 4 players running around together, it's difficult to keep organized and really work together. If one player strays too far from the group, they'll either end up being pulled back into the mix via a floating bubble, or they'll end up pulling the other 3 in a bubble towards them. Players can also pick each other up and throw them, be it for cooperative purposes, or maybe you're just feeling like a real jerk. The goal for each level is simple: reach the flag at the end and move on to the next stage. As far as collectibles are concerned, each stage features hidden green stars, which once collected, will unlock special stages and even a special world at the end of the game. 3D World offers a variety of power-ups, from the Fire and Ice Flower to the brand new Double Cherry, which will create a clone of the character, and the biggest addition, the Lucky Bell, which will turn Mario and friends into a cat. This gives the player the ability to dive bomb from mid-air and also climb up walls and even the flagpole at the end of the level. Although it's a new port from the Wii U, the Switch version of 3D World itself doesn't offer anything new. The game runs slightly faster and may look a little sharper at best, but if you had this game on Wii U, you aren't missing much here, which is a bit disappointing. The big selling point for this game is the inclusion of a mini-adventure called Bowser's Fury. It's a standalone mode that's only a few hours long, but has massive potential to become something much bigger in the future. It places Mario by himself on a set of islands where he must collect cat shines. Unlike 3D World, Bowser's Fury places the camera directly behind Mario in a more traditional 3D adventure sense, like Mario Odyssey or Breath of the Wild. Speaking of Breath of the Wild, Bowser's Fury gives off a very Breath of the Wild vibe, placing Mario in essentially his first fully open world adventure, even though it's a bit small. Everything you need to do and see is all placed on a single map, allowing you to freely roam and collect as you go. You'll traverse between islands with the help of your aquatic dinosaur friend Plessy, and your companion for this game is actually Bowser Jr. Why him of all people? In this game, Bowser has turned into an extra large threat, as he'll randomly appear at times and cause chaos by running around and attacking Mario. Even Bowser Jr. is worried by how angry and powerful Bowser has become. Because he's so powerful, you're unable to simply fight Bowser directly. Instead, the only way to ward him off is by collecting enough cat shines, and eventually unlocking the Giga Bell, which turns Mario into a massive cat, where you can then fight him face to face. Unless you accomplish either of those things, Bowser will simply stick around and continue to wreak havoc. Bowser's Fury feels like Nintendo is experimenting with a potential new formula for the next big Mario title, and if this is the direction they're planning on taking, we couldn't be more excited. The $60 price tag is tough to justify if you've already played 3D World, as Bowser's Fury only takes a few hours to complete. But if it's a brand new experience overall, it's one you don't want to miss. A 4 out of 5.
So that was a lot of Mario goodness, right? Well, Nintendo thought you needed even more Mario goodness in the form of Super Nintendo World. It was originally supposed to open February 4th, but that didn't happen because of a little thing called COVID, the pandemic going on in the world. Now it's scheduled to open on March 18th. The question is, will it actually make it? If it does, we'll have to see what the public opinion is, because the press event had some mixed reactions. Take a look.
First take, I really don't know how to describe that experience. Awesome, not what I was expecting. Really bizarre, a lot going on. The graphics are unbelievable, but regardless, a ton of fun.
Got off the Mario Kart ride, and that was a lot of fun. You get to do Mario Kart in real life. That is so cool. The AR goggles, so they snap on to the visor thing. So they kind of just, there's magnets in it, they just kind of snap on. And the AR, it's a little, it was a little blurry, but you're not moving that quickly. And I get motion sick really easily, and I didn't get motion sick on that. So that's a plus. And you drive around and you throw the shells and everything, and there's all the different courses, and it was just fun. A lot of fun. The queue was fantastic. Now, is the ride like the best thing, absolutely best thing in the world? I wouldn't say so, but it's still a lot of fun, and that's what's important, that it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. We're gonna have to do that again.
The ride itself is, well, it's basically a rail shooter with a Mario Kart skin, only with Koopa shells as your ammo. The required AR headset is really what brings the ride to life, letting you see virtual elements like other racers and the Koopa shells that you launch. Unfortunately, you don't really do any of the actual driving. Okay, sure, everyone has a steering wheel and you can work together to control the direction the cart faces to a degree, but the course is otherwise predetermined with various stops and turns that cannot be altered. So what really sets Mario Kart apart is the ability to attack other racers using Koopa shells. Thankfully, you'll get a bunch each time you hit a question block, so you'll have plenty of chances. To fire, you just look in your opponent's direction and press a button. Land a hit and you'll earn some coins for a chance at making the leaderboards. Unfortunately, green shells are the only item available, which feels a bit limited. Although the ride is only a single lap, it covers a variety of classic environments, such as underwater, a haunted mansion, and even Rainbow Road. The ride is enhanced by real-world effects such as wind, which is a great addition and helps make the cart feel faster than their actual real-world speed. The ride is relatively short, with less than 5 minutes of action. It's a cool experience, but may not be what Nintendo fans are expecting from a ride that sells itself as the closest Mario Kart experience that you'll find. But if you go in with an open mind, it's a very fun time. The interactivity is what makes this ride really stand out, limited as it may be, and is no doubt what will make it a very popular attraction. The augmented reality is really quite convincing and helps bring the action to life. Trust us, the footage here doesn't do the ride justice. You'll just have to experience Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge for yourselves.
So yeah, Super Nintendo World is unique. They should have called it Super Mario World for what it really is. You could have had a Zelda area, because this is what people theorized. You were going to have a Zelda area, and a Donkey Kong area, and an F-Zero roller coaster, and a Pokemon section, and just Star Fox, and you're just gonna take all these wonderful, huge IPs and mush them together. And that doesn't happen at all. It's really just Mario strictly, which is okay. I love Mario. He's like my favorite franchise of all time. Anyone who knows me knows I put Nintendo at the top of the list, and at the top of that list is Mario. So you'd think I'd be happy about this. But in reality, there's more. There's more that I want. There's more that I want to see. Not only that, the rides themselves are extremely underwhelming. When you picture Mario Kart, especially with the recent, or at least the very last home edition version, main series title with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's anti-gravity, it's fast-paced, it's insane, and the ride that we get is not bad at all. Granted, there is an augmented reality aspect to the ride that we don't see through video. It's something you're gonna have to go and experience for yourself. But at the end of the day, it's not fast, it's not really super thrilling from what I've seen. And that seems to be sort of the case for most people's opinion. They love the area. They did a fantastic, amazing job of recreating sort of what the Mushroom Kingdom would feel like. The store is really cute and fun. Same thing with the cafe. There's all sorts of cool things there. The character meet, also a very cool experience. But the rides themselves, the Yoshi one, I can walk faster than sitting on that ride. And Mario Kart just kind of leaves something to be desired. So, what do you think? Have you been looking into the Super Nintendo World craziness? Are you excited for it? Because I was very excited for it, and then the more I see it, I'm like, maybe I'll wait till 2025, which is now the expected date for the Orlando version. So, maybe I won't hop on the plane to Japan quite yet. Anyway, thank y'all for watching Ultima Gaming. The thing that happens like twice a year now. It's a bit of a special event. It's supposed to be a weekly thing, but hey, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. You all mean the world to me. And we'll see you next time. Bye!